JB and AC. The energy was awesome. Those two are just like really finding their groove.
4 straight overall wins.
$100,000. Adam Cianciarulla.
Checkered flag and Justin Brayton.
Cianciarulla has won
the 2019 Pro Motocross Championship.
He's gonna do it to become the oldest winner in the history of Supercross.
What is up, everybody?
Thanks for coming out, everybody. It's a good crowd, JB.
This is a pretty good crowd.
I get it, though. I mean, for you. You're an Australian legend over here.
The first ever live AC and JB show. We had to save it for Australia. And I had to drag my guy, Adam Cianciarulla, down here. Who's stoked to see AC down here? Yes. Adam, you can vouch. So, me and Adam spent a lot of time together during the season. And I'm always talking about Australia, huh? Nonstop.
Nonstop. This guy's your biggest fan over here.
Oh, yeah. How do you like it so far?
Oh, I love it. I mean, this has been a bucket list item for me for a really long time. Like, really long time. I always wanted to make it down here when I was racing, in part because of the number 10. It's just been dominant.
You didn't want to race down here when I was racing. You didn't want no part of that.
Absolutely not. But I am coming for you tomorrow in our little, we're doing like a little 3-lap duel. Around 5 o'clock, you better bring some tear-offs, Pops.
Actually, so we are doing a little something tomorrow. I'm already in his head. There's 2 sets of whoops out there. He's already trying to get with the track crew to go around them.
No, I'm going to jump those things, dude. I'm going to wheelie in, 3-3-3, no problem.
It's over. So he's got a little changing room over here. There's like 3 spin bikes in it. I'm like, he's already doing intervals. He's already trying to train behind the scenes. So it's going to be a bad deal, man.
Yeah, well, guys, I've been running a really, really loose program since I retired. Like, we talked about it this year, doing Race Day Live, always coming in with donut holes and, 64-ounce coffees. It was not good. So we're trying to turn it around a little bit. The sleep's back. I ate like 3 vegetables last week. I was stoked. I went out there, rode today, hit all the downsides of the jump. So the confidence is through the roof right now. You
know what? I was actually really impressed. And I said to the guys from the Empire Kawasaki team earlier, I said, I'm surprised that Adam was as mellow as he was. You were stoked. You were like, yeah, man, the bars feel a little bit narrow, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know. I really was never that picky when I was racing. Were you? Because, I mean,
come on, dude.
You were picky. This guy, I could see this guy coming off the track, taking 5 cc's of oil out of the 4.
No, we're adding 5 cc's.
Do that. I don't even know what tire I ran when I was racing. It's just not my deal. But you've been doing this since 1976. So
yeah, there is that joke.
You guys like that one? There's gonna be a lot of old jokes tonight.
I like that one too. He already got that to me earlier. Said you started in 1988 or something over here. So I just roll with it. Hey, look, I'm old, man, but you're just you're leaning into it for what's about to happen tomorrow. Like, you should be praising me right now so it doesn't look so bad tomorrow.
Yeah, I did see that they built the 1 set of whoops, and you told me they were going to be mellow. It looks like a rhythm section out there. Big? So I'm going to need to kick the tough blocks. I'm going around the whoops. Like, I told everybody when I was done racing, I'm never going through a set of whoops ever again. The rest of my life. I really am not. And then every Saturday there's a big set of whoops, this guy looks and he's just like, man, I wish I was out there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me. There's nobody that likes going through whoops.
Come on.
Nobody that likes going through whoops.
So I love whoops. And then, you guys all watch Supercross, right? Obviously, the AUSX stuff here, but also in America. We had a crazy mud race in Foxborough this year. Did anyone watch Foxborough? Aaron Plessinger won. This guy sitting next to me all day long, chomping at the bit, wanting to put his gear on. I'm like, who here would want to put their gear on and ride in pouring down rain, absolute mess, freezing cold? Raise your hand if you want to ride. Exactly, dude. 0.0.
My only chance at a W. Now that these kids named Jett and Hunter are racing, it's like the only time I can do is when it's wet.
Have you guys heard of them, Jett and Hunter? From somewhere over here, I guess?
Hey, I want to talk about, so you've been coming to Australia when was your first race you ever did down here?
Was it 87 or 88? Something like that.
Come on.
No, I actually came down here in 2010.
Because I feel like you, for me anyway, and a lot of American riders, I feel like you really put this series kind of on our radar. Is that how you feel? Are you carrying that torch? Are you claiming it?
I can't answer that question, but so when I first started doing the series was 2016. And I'll tell you guys a story. I raced Washougal National, and I had a big crash. I wasn't that good at motocross, unlike this guy, motocross champ, of course. I had a big crash, and I said to my wife, I'm like, I never want to race a motocross race again. Like it's hot, it's nasty. I was always 5th to 10th, and if you're fans out there,
nothing wrong with that.
But you never see 5th to 10th. When do you ever see an 8th place or 9th place battle?
Yeah, on TV, no.
Yeah, you never see it.
Doesn't happen.
So I was invisible, 5th to 10th all the time, and it's hard to get 5th to 10th. So I said to her after that, I'm like, I don't want to race motocross again. I want to do supercross only. I came down here for CDR for Craig Dack in 2010, and I fell in love with Australia. I'm like, I want to go do that. And at the time, this Instagram thing, have you guys heard of Instagram? Now everyone knows about Instagram. But then I was new to it, not a big social media guy.
You don't say.
Not a big social media guy.
Somebody gets it.
Yeah. So I pull up my wife says, you get DMs, like direct messages on Instagram. I'm like, I don't know. Pull it up. It says like 99 plus because it doesn't go to 100 or whatever. 99 plus messages. The third one down, Yariv Konski, Honda Australia. I read it. It's like, would you ever be interested in coming to Australia? And I'm like, how's the timing? I've got 3 of them. You're good. Totally good. And I'm like, how's the timing of this? And then here we are. 5 championships later. Australia's like my second home. Shout out to Yariv. Getting me down here. And that's where it all started. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a long time coming. I really wanted to get down here when I was racing, but I had to wait till I retired. I'm here now, and we had a big debate pretty much all season long. When I knew that I was coming here, you always were telling me you got to go Sunshine Coast.
Sunshine Coast.
Sunshine Coast. And I ended up, so I booked an Airbnb on the Gold Coast, and he says I blew it. Did I blow it?
Yes, he did.
Wow.
Blew it.
Wow.
No, what I said, and all you guys tell me if I'm right or wrong. So I said, I'm going to be your travel agent. He didn't listen to me. I said, I've been there multiple times. Just
not a great
trust
listener.
me on this. Didn't listen to me at all. I said, start here. Hang out in Sydney for a little bit. I mean, this seems amazing right here. The stadium, the beach, like all this area is great. So hang out here for a few days. Then start to go north. Hit Byron Bay. Then go to Gold Coast. And then go to Sunshine Coast. And then he's like, yeah, then I'll just drive to Melbourne. I'm like, nah, you're not going to drive to Melbourne. He's like, why not? I'm like, just trust me on this. You're not driving to Melbourne from the Sunshine Coast. So, and then I said, fly to Melbourne for AUSX Open here in a few weeks and spend a week there. Is that good or bad? Solid.
Yeah, so we're going to stay here a couple extra days after the event, hit the tourist spots. Then we're going Gold Coast for 12 days, and then we're just going to Melbourne. You lost me with like the 3 different stops. Right there, I'll tell you guys this. Like, I had it tough in ways growing up. Of course, I had factory equipment. I had all these opportunities. They were amazing. I worked really hard for it. But, dude, my mom did everything for me, man. Everything. Booked all my flights. Like, in terms of life admin stuff, this was actually the first trip. I mean, we book our travel for the races on Saturday.
Sort of.
Yeah, we
Sort
kind of
pick
just
our
fill
flights
out.
and send it to someone to book. But
yeah,
yes.
but this is all. Look, guys, I just turned 29. It's embarrassing, but it's true. Like, this is like the first trip I really booked. Booked an Airbnb, booked the flights, and having a lady here, dude, there's a lot of responsibility. I'm not trying to let her down either. So we're trying to keep it simple. 2 stops, Gold Coast, Melbourne. We just got to ride with it.
Well, hopefully we have, well, not we. Well, actually, I'm going to say we have you back year after year after year. So then you can become a local like myself, and then you'll know every trip you're going to the Sunshine Coast for the majority of it.
Well, just don't embarrass me tomorrow. Please.
I'll take it.
Please, because it really is annoying. We JB this year for Supercross, he started doing these track previews on Friday before the race, and this guy's talking about, I haven't ridden Supercross in 6 months, yada, yada, yada. Goes out there right away, 4th gear wide open, through the whoops, knocking the rhythm sections down. I don't understand at 55 years old how you're still doing the things that you're doing on the motorcycle. It is. No, it really is, though. You are like, I feel like you don't get enough credit for the talent that I'm being serious. I bust your balls a lot. But seriously, you're really talented on a dirt bike. You're
This
really
is our first
talented,
heart-to-heart. You guys are winners. Our first heart-to-heart.
and you got to chill out there tomorrow. You got to chill.
All right. I was on Jett's bike, though, so that did help.
Yeah,
During
you got
Super.
that going for you. But the way I look at it is like, I retired. I mean, you guys seen some. I had a really up and down career, always on the highlight reel in some capacity. When I called it quits, I was like, wow, I'm alive. Like, I'm here. I made it. So now it's like, that's why today I rolled the triple like 4 or 5 times, because I'm not trying to take any unnecessary risk these days, JB.
You nailed it, though.
We don't know how the
Downside.
talent that the 10 has.
All downside today.
Yeah,
A triple.
it is what it is. We're going to put some spacers on the bars tomorrow. They just need to get a little higher.
Not
I'm
picky,
ready to
though.
go.
Not picky.
Not at all.
Not picky.
No.
Not picky.
Ready to rip.
All right, we're going to bring up our first guest. We're going to talk a little more AUSX Supercross Championship. The director, Adam Bailey. Come on up, Adam.
Right in the middle.
What's up, mate?
I'm feeling very special. To be able to sit in between you two legends is a big deal for me, so thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Adam Cianciarillo's in Australia.
It's mind-blowing. We've talked about it for a long time. JB here, you've been an amazing advocate for racing here in the AUSX series, and appreciate you helping making it happen and getting in this guy's ear and giving us a plug and helping push the sport forward here, so
And
thank you.
I mean, he's here and he booked his own flights, like he said. I'm surprised he got from the hotel to here on time, 3 minutes to spare. I mean,
Well, yeah, seriously.
pretty good.
3 minutes to spare, but hey, we came a long way from when we first started working together. Charlotte, SMX 2024.
Yes.
There's a lot of stories you can tell there, but I've gotten a lot more organized, guys. I've gotten a lot more organized. Although, today I almost didn't get on track. Because
Yeah.
We had
Great
a little
story.
bit of stress, and from sitting on this side of the fence, and you're so excited to see AC. Can't wait to see him on the track. We've got 15,000 people here this weekend. It's going to be insane. And then you hear there's no license, there's no permit. He's not going to be getting on the track. And you're like, excuse me?
yeah, this paperwork thing, I'm telling you, it's new to me, guys. I know, it's bad.
So
but-
we got word this week that, of course, we're going to ride a little bit. We rode a little today. We're going to ride some tomorrow. But we need, every time, since we're AMA, American Motorcyclists Association, back home, we have to get releases to race anywhere. So you know, they release us to race in Australia, release to race wherever we're going. And we got word this past week that we need releases, even though we're not racing. So I'm like, okay, no problem. I've done this 100 times. Fill it out, blah, blah, blah. Yep, get a doctor note, da-da-da. Done. 12 hours maybe max. Adam gets word that we need this, and so I'm forwarding him all the stuff. And I'm like, oh, man. I said, do you need help with it? do you want me to walk you through it?
You did,
I did,
straight
right?
up offer your help, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, do you need help? Okay, we organize a doctor's visit to get a physical, blah, blah, blah. And then we come here, and I'm like, I'm thinking it's all dialed, right? But not, we're last minute. We're last minute. We got it done, though.
You were on the track when
Yeah.
the permission came through, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, no, it really was. Yeah, I didn't think I was riding today. But we got it done, guys. We
Got
got
it
it
done.
done.
We got it done.
We're here.
It's in the
Yep.
name of the fans, so we appreciate the effort. Thanks for doing the homework to get it
Oh,
done.
no, thank you, both of you guys. You guys are the reason why I'm here, and this really is one of those moments, like, it is one of those moments where you pinch yourself and you're like, I cannot believe that this is this is my life. Like, people actually want me to be here. That's pretty cool, man. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey, and I think for the people here tonight, like how awesome is it to have the AC and JB show and their first ever live show here in Australia is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. Thank you.
And I mean, as a fan, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of the sport, and for us and our team, we're all fans. That's why we do what we do. So we've been watching you guys doing an epic job, and we're stoked to have you here. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate the kind words. Let's talk about the series a little bit. So AC was talking earlier just about my first time down here. I started doing it kind of full-time in 2016. And now the evolution, I mean, we're sitting here today, an amazing stadium behind us, right on the water, like a great venue. And then obviously everyone knows AUSX Open. You've got Jett and Hunter Lawrence coming back here in a few weeks. So talk about just the evolution of it and where it is today. It's been an amazing process that you've been a part of.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we started running events in 2015, and the AUSX Open, which you were a part of for many years, began up the road here in Sydney, and grew to be what it is now in Melbourne, in Marvel Stadium, which is huge. And it's only been the last couple of years that we took responsibility for promoting the whole series. And I guess it was something that we just felt like was a natural evolution, and that we're passionate about the series, and it can grow and be big, and we want to be. We want to grow and aspire to be everything that the US series is, to be honest, even though we know that we're much smaller. So, we're doing everything we can to do that, and part of that is better venues and bigger crowds, and having international riders be a part of it, having international names like yourselves be a part of it, and it's really exciting to see where it's going. So we've got a lot more international riders this year than we even did last year, which is more than before, and pay a lot of tribute to yourself, JB, for helping pave the pathway for what we think is a great opportunity for riders to either start their Supercross careers here in Australia, and they can use it to build, like a Lux Turner is, this year, and having an amazing start to the series, or they can extend their career when they've had enough of doing motocross perhaps in the US, and they want to continue being a Supercross athlete. And they're a global superstar like you guys are. We want to welcome them with open arms to Australia and say, come on down and have some fun and race, and our fans would love to see it. And
this is a first time in this venue.
Yeah,
correct.
First time ever.
How did this one come about?
Well, we were looking for Sydney, and Western Sydney is a fantastic market for Supercross. We'd actually looked at going back to Kudos Arena, where AUSX Open was for many years, but turned out the date that we had there actually clashed with the Metallica concert the same day. It was going to be the same day right next door, and we felt like that was going to be a bad move, for us and for the fans, and because parking, and we would lose fans that maybe going to the concert and all these kinds of things. Plus, we were definitely, apprehensive about going to a smaller venue again, because as much as it's a great spectacle, I think us as the hardcore fans really want to see Supercross at a full scale like it is out here. So this just turned out to be the right one. The venue here have been amazing to work with. Sharks, they're awesome people. They were excited to have us. There's a dirt supplier just down the road, which helps. There's a great hotel, The Quest, right next door, is really looking after us. So it has all these positive things that it just seemed to fit. And we're stoked because the crowd turnout's going to be huge tomorrow night, and so far so good. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome event. You made a good point. A lot of times we look at guys like Dean Wilson or myself coming on here kind of after their full-time kind of SMX career in the States. But you make a really good point. A guy like Ryder Malinowski, who's racing SX3, he won the second moto of St. Louis with the SMX Next program that we have in America. What a great bridge. Like, even for you, AC, I know you did, we can't all win our first Supercross. First time we ever line up for we can't all do that. But what a great stepping stone, that they're doing with SMX Next in America. But then this, a different time of year, a guy like Malinowski, he could be paving the way for the younger kids to come over here and keep getting more and more experience. Yeah, exactly. I think a couple of years ago when we started, Chad's son Tate, Chad Reed's son Tate, was racing in 85, and Chad helped sort of bring 85cc racing back to the series. And that was kind of like, a bit of a reminder to say that the US doesn't necessarily have the best pathway for kids at that age to get Supercross experience. Whereas here, you can race in 85 and you're racing on the same track, and you can do the same number of rounds as the pro guys. So that's actually quite a unique thing around the world. And so we kind of wanted to embrace that, the same with the SX3, and bring them in. And it is actually a great opportunity to race on the same track as the pros. And now that the tracks are at the level that they are, which, we like to think are quite close to the US, it's a good stepping stone. We also, trying to manage them so they're not, trying to go out like it's Anaheim 1 out there. We don't want to hurt kids either. We want to build them up. So we feel like we position ourselves so we're a great opportunity for those kids to get that experience, build their confidence. I'm sure that people are watching those guys or like Lux and being like, hey, he's riding well. Like, and as you well know, it's not that easy here to come and win. Like, you have to be riding well. You can't just be rolling. Like, if someone is winning here, they will do pretty well in the US, and Dino's an example, So I think it's that perfect level to use as a stepping stone. What's it been like in your role, just watching from the outside looking in, this series, as I was talking about with JB, it seems like year after year, you talked about the tracks,
the amount of people that are coming in the stands, just a general excitement around the series has gotten bigger and bigger every year. How fun has that been from your role to see that?
It's super rewarding. I mean, and all of us come from, this sport. I think everyone that works in this sport has like a really deep passion for it that came from it. Like as a motocross rider or a wannabe supercross rider like I was one day, and you're just around it and you want to see it because ultimately we just feel it is the best sport in the world, right? That's why we're here, like because we genuinely believe it's underserved and people have just got to see it and they'll love it, and so we're just like constantly just passionate about that. And so when you see that start to pay off and you see more people come and you'll see people that, we've had lots of examples where people have never seen Supercross before and they're just like mind blown. They're just like, what? Like, I don't even know what I'm watching, but this is insane. Yeah. And it's rewarding because it's like, yes, if we can show that to people, we feel like it'll grow. So for us, and obviously Kelly, my wife, is definitely the brains in the operation, and to see it like moving forward and see those steps, making real progress, and I guess reward when you see new people come like this weekend in a new stadium. It just fuels that fire a little bit more, I guess. Yeah,
that's so awesome. Well, we appreciate everything you do, everything your wife does, and thanks for having us down. Honestly, man, thank you so much. It's so cool for us because now, post-racing, I think every athlete deals with what's next. What are we going to do next? And to do stuff like this.
We're doing it.
Yeah, we're literally still living a dream. We're talking about our favorite thing in the world. So thank you for having us down, and give it up for Adam Bailey.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
It's pretty awesome. The series has grown a lot, and it's cool to come down here and do this, man. It really is. And to be on the broadcast tomorrow, to get to ride a little bit, scratch the itch, it's fun.
And just and the whole deal. I mean, I tell everybody the analytics, but there's an analytics button on Instagram, JB. I didn't know if you know this or not, but if I tap my analytics button on my social media, like Australia is number one in terms of engagement, and I've just had a lot of fan support from down under over the years, so it's a blessing to be here, my friend.
Awesome. Our next guest, you guys are going to love this one. He's a legend. He's not from Australia, but it's close by. New Zealand's own Ben Townley. Give it up for BT. Woo! What's up, BT?
Thanks for having me, boys. It's good to have you here. AC, how did the trip go? Did you rental car it down here from the airport, or did you Uber?
Oh no, we got a first class ride. We got a first class ride. They hooked us up.
You didn't jump in the right hand side of the car then to drive.
No,
down
but
here.
I did drive to dinner last night.
How'd that go?
It's fine.
Really?
Luckily, my philosophy just follow the car in front. Follow the car in front.
I did say that to him. So the busier it is, when you've never driven here, you actually want it to be busy, so you can literally just like fall in line with the car in front of you.
Yeah, I was just intrigued to see how the driving went, because I remember the first time I jumped in the left-hand side of a car, it was crazy. I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's a little weird checking the mirror and looking left. That did throw me off a little bit.
It is tough to get used to. So this year, I feel like, AC, 2025 was kind of the year of Ben Townley. Like behind the scenes, it was kind of the year of Ben Townley.
We were giving Ben a lot of love on air.
Cole Davies. You guys like Cole Davies? All right. So Cole Davies comes over, and we knew, look, he had come over, race some SMX next stuff. He was okay. It wasn't like this kid's going to be the next great thing. But then this year, he hits whoops like...
Yeah, the whoop thing needs to be studied for generations to come.
But it all came from this guy.
Yeah, I don't know what you charge, Ben. I don't know what you charge.
It sounds like you might need it for tomorrow night, bud.
If you've got a couple hours...
Let's cut this short. Let's get out there now.
Let's put the lights on and figure it out. Let's figure it out.
Pocket of it, bud.
Yeah, I'll Venmo you.
So it really was, though. I mean, we gave Ben... Well, we didn't give him a ton of credit. He deserved the credit, because... Walk us through, because then we started to... There surfaced some photos of, like... You working with Cole, and there's certain things that you did to get him up to that level. So you don't have to give out any secrets, but you had to feel pretty awesome seeing what he did this year.
I guess it was very rewarding, to be honest. First of all, just massive props to you guys, because I think a lot of fans love listening to you guys. You just give such great insight. And just the way you both articulate what you see at the races, it's cool. It's been really cool for the sport to have you guys. Obviously, you're both fresh off racing. You obviously think he's a veteran, but he's
to say the least.
You're both fresh from racing, and it's really cool that you guys can give that insight that you do. So you're doing an awesome job. I know I've texted JB a couple of times. I'm like, man, where's your show? Get it out. I need to listen to it. So with Cole, it started here actually, Adelaide, in I don't know, it seems like yesterday, only a couple of years ago, and we brought him over to start riding Supercross. It was in the SX3 category that Adam just talked about, and it was just the beginning of what you've seen this year, and we just spent hours and hours in my front yard, basically. It is at my house, and just working on the art of Supercross, and the whoops was obviously a massive part of it. In New Zealand, we don't have Supercross of any nature anymore, so you had to come here to race, but then we'd go home and just practice and work away. And as probably a lot of people know, I'm a pretty hard taskmaster, and I just made him do lap after lap, and until he got the confidence. And I'm big on just working through and doing it correctly, so that you gain the confidence, and then just keep layering that in. And yeah, that's what we did. There's no secret sauce. I'm just massive on doing it correctly, and if you do it correctly, you gain the confidence. Yeah.
And I think just recently in the sport, we're talking a lot about technique. But when I was watching Ben Townley in 2006, 2007, Ben Townley was the OG technique guy.
100%.
You could not find one photo of you in a turn where your outside elbow wasn't just goals, just absolute goals. Outside elbow up, in the perfect position. I mean, you were kind of the OG technique guy. Did you always put a lot of emphasis on that, even growing up?
Yeah, I probably did. There was a lot of emphasis on it. I got coached actually by an Australian to start with, Stephen Gall. He was like one of the OG coaches. and he so sort of that it was installed in me young, and then to be honest, I actually as a kid growing up, it really interested me. I was sort of a student of the sport, and really interested me on just sort of how to be better. And then I went to Europe, and actually Harry Everts, Stefan's father, he gave me some guidance, because I was in Europe on my own at the time. So he gave me some guidance, and then I just I always had an interest in how as a rider you could be better. But you're right, Adam. I've thought about this a lot. In recent years, there's been this massive trend around technique, right? If you think back through, the time in my career, I started in 2001, it was huge about physical training. All of a sudden, this short, red-headed guy in Florida just trained the house down, right? So then everyone had to train the house down. Then all of a sudden, I reckon, the late 08, 9, 10, it changed to motorcycle performance. Everyone was focused on how can the bike be better, and what can we do around that. I mean, Chad and James were just obsessed. I know Chad, was obsessed and what he could do with the bike. And then these two Australian kids came along, and all of a sudden, there's been a huge influence on technique as well. So you've seen, these, and I think there's other, waves that are about to come probably within the sport as well. So you're certainly right. I mean, I've gone off on a tangent, but that's probably been the biggest, point in our sport in recent years.
Tangents are why we're here. That's like our entire show.
That's it.
I don't know if you guys watch our show on YouTube, Spotify, whatever. That's all we do, JB.
Yeah, it is. And AC, before you got here, since you were almost late, 3 minutes before it started, but we were here about an hour and a half early.
5.
And BT.
It was 5:27.
It's called
5:27.
It's called
That's
coming in
3
hot.
minutes.
It's
Thanks,
called
Ben.
coming in hot, dude.
Thanks, BT. But Ben, you and I were talking just about the evolution of bikes. So back in the day, we would squat the rear end. We would shorter shock and cut the subframe and a longer link, and you'd want to squat that thing like James did, right? That's what kind of started it, I think, for a lot of guys.
Bones
That Pro Circuit did? Yeah. But now
coming down the hill at Glen Helen at 7 o'clock. Yeah, you need that front end high.
Can't see what you're hitting.
Yeah. Well, and it's 7 o'clock at Glen Helen, and you're not leaving until you do your fastest time. The track's beat.
almost
Got to
dark.
stiffen the forks.
Yeah. But now it's opposite. Guys are going taller subframes and longer shocks, and it's wild. So AC, for you, what are you most picky about? If it's the rear of the bike, the front of the bike, what is it?
Well, I think it depends on the characteristics of the bike. that you're riding. I thought a Kawasaki is obviously known for being stable, for going in a straight line really well, and I think I always liked more of the chopper feel. I like the high front end, just make it work in the turns. But I always think whatever bike you're riding, I found that anytime I struggled with cornering on the Cowie the last couple years, and I think a lot of that was we were trying to make the bike do something that we were taken away from the good characteristics of the motorcycle, right? Where I think we just need to set it up to its strengths instead of trying to negate the weaknesses, right? So I like that thing choppered out. I wanted to go in a straight line. I needed all the help that I could get in the whoops, I could tell you that.
It's literally, you're still going to need all the help you can get. But that's how our conversation started, was a lot of times we get motorcycles and we want to take them so far from the standard. Like, they've spent millions of dollars to develop these motorcycles on the showroom floor. Like, let's not change it that much, huh, BT?
Yeah, we're having this conversation before you showed up late, Adam, and
damn, my reputation is just getting hammered up here. Hammered.
The fact that you booked your first flight ever blows me away. But anyway, we'll leave that for another conversation.
No, we can keep it here. We can keep it going.
You've got some ammunition now, the age and
absolutely.
Age jokes.
Yeah.
Back on track. I raced here in 2011 for Urive, and built my bike up from basically a motorcycle out of a showroom floor. And we built it up, and I would go so far to say it's the best 450 I've ever ridden. And I feel like we massage these motorcycles at a pro level in America and even in Europe. They just get transformed into something that they aren't. And I really like your comment that you work to the bike's strengths. And that's typical of a Cowie. I rode Cowies a lot in my career, and certainly under Pro Circuit as well, and they set them up, to their strengths. And I really agree with you on that point, that if you do that, then you really get the best out of the motorcycle. And I think we get so far away from what the strength of the bike is these days sometimes, that's definitely my view on it. I rode CDR's bike a couple of years ago, and hands down, it's the best Yamaha I've ever ridden. There's no doubt about it. And there's nothing factory on that motorcycle at all. Not that I was aware of. So it just gives you an understanding that, what we have as a motorcycle from Japan, let's call it a factory motorcycle these days, is such a raceable and competitive motorcycle.
This is a perfect segue because we have a lot of people changing teams, a lot of riders changing teams. You've got, who likes the Tomac from Yamaha to KTM move? Anybody?
JB hates it. JB hates it. I really do think we did a post Vegas SMX show, and we started talking about how great it would be if Eli got back on the Cowie, because everything a Cowie does well, Eli does well. And you kind of started the rumor that Eli was going back to Cowie. I don't know if you've been on
No,
Vital.
I didn't.
Yeah. I don't know if you've been on Vital lately. But the Tomac to Cowie was a thing until like 3 days ago. Because
well, then
of
you squashed the rumor, because then there was some leaked footage of you hitting whoops. It's at the Kawasaki test track, and people are like, "AC's back." I'm getting texts like, "Is he taking the second spot?" Who hoped that Adam Cianciarulo would take that second spot at Cowie? See,
best I can do is maybe a couple outdoors if we have a wet summer and it rains a lot.
So not many people like the Tomac to KTM. How about the Sexton to Cowie? It's okay?
Oh, we don't like change here in Australia. We just don't like it at all.
Don't like change. What about Prado? We got some Prado friends? Wow. Who's Prado? Wow. What about Anderson to Suzuki? Is that going to work? Hey,
loves it.
Some
Hey,
fans.
I do.
Yeah.
Hey, I really like Anderson on Suzuki.
Me too.
Why though?
Why?
I'm interested in, because I've got my opinion.
Yeah, so Jason started training with Eldon. I was already with Eldon for a couple years, early in our career. And he's a guy that's, like, if he's having a good time with what he's doing, he is lethal, man. He is so unbelievably good. The best offseason I ever had is when he first got on Cowie. 2021 offseason. And I'm telling you, I could not stay within a second and a half, 2 seconds of this guy at the test track. but he had just come from Husqvarna. He was motivated. He wanted to prove a point. He wanted to prove to the Austrians that he could do it, right? So I think it's all mindset for Jason. I think being there with Larry Brooks, being with Ken Roxon, we know Kenny's having a good time. Like, Kenny's always having a good time. So I think if the vibe is right, I think the 21's going to win a race in 2025.
I just like the environment. It seems to me like, I don't know, I'm not in behind the scenes like you guys from this year, so I don't know the ins and outs of what went on with him and Cowie, but I feel like it's going to be a really good fit for him in terms of the environment and the vibe for him, and I feel like he is going to fit that, better than what he would going somewhere else on a factory team right now. I don't know how competitive that Suzuki is right now, but Ken obviously makes it work. It's going to be interesting to see if he, can feel comfortable on that bike, but just in terms of him fitting into that team, I think that's going to be a really good fit for him. That's my...
No pressure, right? Yeah, that's exactly right. What do you think about the Tomac move, BT?
Well,
the floor is yours, mate. The floor is yours.
I'm torn. I'm torn on it because when he came over to Yamaha, right? I say came over because I'm a Yamaha guy and I have been for a long time now. I felt like it revived his career. He seemed to really do well. Firstly, he had a boatload of horsepower under him, and Eli loves modulating the motorcycle with his left hand.
It's crazy.
He's basically, for those of you that don't know, the right hand is fully locked and the left fingers are modulating.
Hey, the first time I was teammates with Eli for a couple years. I remember showing up at the test track for the first time. This guy starts riding at like 7:30 in the morning. The track's soaking wet. He goes out on the track. I'm telling you right away, the track, there's standing water on the track, and he does a 20. Like a 20 plus one, like just to warm up. He takes like one slow lap, and I'm telling you, by lap 4, the bike was smoking. Looked like the thing was about to explode. Clutch, and the bike's wide open the whole time.
The bike's just wide open.
The whole time.
And then he's just like modulating the clutch to control the motorcycle, right?
Yeah,
completely
crazy.
The opposite of how I coach, like 100%. But the guy's a multi-time champion. So if we get back on track, the fact that I think he had a boatload of horsepower under him, and he had Gilly, which is Australian. If you guys don't know Gilly, he's an Australian guy, and they're super tight, and he had him as his right-hand man to make that motorcycle work for him. And I really think that it fit for him, that change to star. I don't know if the environment at Cowie, I can't speak to that, didn't suit him as well, but certainly did it at Yamaha, and they were allowed to step outside, the rules, I shouldn't say rules, but step outside the boundaries a little bit more at Star, I thought. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the proof's in the pudding, actually. When it was factory Yamaha, the bike wasn't great. As soon as they gave the program to Star, it opened, they opened their eyes to just trying so many different things. So you're absolutely right on that.
So I'm going to get to my point in a second. So in terms of where he was at on a Yamaha, and I know the latest generation, you and I talked about this earlier, JB, is he loved that motorcycle on a supercross track, right? And supercross is obviously the biggest component of what you guys do. And I'm concerned about potentially, is my concern what I've seen with Chase and Jorge on that bike recently? Is that where my concern's at? I just don't know if he's going to fit onto that motorcycle. The one thing that I do know is that they'll move heaven and earth for him. There's no doubt about that. Roger and Ian.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that they'll go to any extent to win. That starts in Austria and it's filtered, through to them. So they'll move heaven and earth to make him comfortable. So I don't know where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. You got Deegan coming in, big money. Cooper Webb, 3-time Supercross champ. I just cannot believe that somebody of his caliber, of his stature, has to go to a different team. Like, straight up just didn't get a deal. Like, how don't you drop, like, three or four of your 15 250 guys and throw some money and keep Tomac? No disrespect to those guys. I mean, I didn't name names, but They got a lot of 250 guys.
No, will you name a couple?
No, I
Just
got
give me
nothing.
2 names.
Grab that Great
They all-
Northern over there and shotgun
They've
that
all-
Great Northern.
They've all got me covered. I'm just saying, I think it's pretty nuts that Eli has to go somewhere else. I really
That
do.
doesn't surprise me. I just think just where Yamaha's at, they've got, their deck stacked in terms of they've got the current Supercross champion, they've got the next guy on the rise, and they've probably got the next guy on the rise after that as well. So that's not a surprise. At some point, there doesn't seem to be a shortage of greenbacks there, but at some point there's going to be a shortage.
But you've seen like, I remember Kobe Bryant his last few years on the Lakers. They were not that good, but Kobe was getting the ball all the time. The team was doing whatever Kobe wanted just because he had earned it for the 20 years prior. That's what I feel like they should do with Eli. He can go out there and get 12th. He can go out there and get exactly. He can go out there and Eli can go out there and get 12th for the next 5 years on a Yamaha and probably sell more motorcycles than whoever else.
I think it literally just comes down to, it's as simple as this. It's, do you want to race Eli Tomac on a different bike for the next 2 years, or do you want to race Hayden Deegan on a different bike for the next 10 years?
You're always bringing logic into the conversation.
I mean, it's literally as
So
simple as that,
annoying,
right,
dude.
BT?
That
Like,
comes with
do
that
you
vibe.
So annoying.
You're
it's
not
as simple
far
as
away
that.
from that.
I'm trying to get some clickbait going for our youth. We're filming this, dude. It's
And
YouTube.
we didn't talk about it much, but you worked with Hayden a little bit preseason as well, and you have to keep Hayden. You just do. He's the next guy. He's
absolutely,
marketing, especially if you're Yamaha as the brand, you're selling a lot of bikes to some new customers because of Hayden Deegan. So I'm with you. Look, I'm the guy pounding the drum saying, I don't like the Tomac move. I wish he was still on Yamaha because I think that's where we get our best Eli Tomac. I'm also the guy, even if KTM is great, even if it fits him, I still think it's going to take, I don't know, half the season, maybe even the full season to get used to the team, used to the lingo, used to the bike.
You're a 1 year guy. Once you
I'm
go
an
to a
8 to
team,
12 months guy.
Yeah, 8 to 12.
8
We've
to
moved
12.
it back now.
8 to 12.
It was 12 months. Now it takes 8 to 12.
It could be a year. BT, what do you think about
Wait,
that?
hold
big
on. I just want to make sure I didn't come across like they should get rid of Hayden Deegan for
you
Eli
did.
Tomac.
Oh,
right?
yeah, he did.
Come on.
Just
No,
kidding.
I'm already in hot
you want him
water over the Vegas SMX take. Okay,
You
I
want
don't
him to
need
keep
any more-
everybody. I
Yeah,
get it.
keep
I mean,
everybody.
I wish that was the case for sure.
Anyway, go ahead.
I don't think if we if we just go back and just look at the timeline of Eli preparing for 2026 season, I don't feel like it's going to be an 8 to 12 month period. I really
think it'll
don't.
be sooner.
Yep. And just based on the fact that I feel like they will go to the extent that I know that they do at KTM to make him comfortable. And I feel like that's probably the difference.
I'm not 100% sure. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
I would
yeah.
believe so.
Yeah.
I have no clue. I have no clue whatsoever.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say to that, BT, is I like just riding different dirt, and he did adapt to the Yamaha good. And
Very quickly.
Very quickly, but I think when he was doing that move, like, we all kind of thought it would work because of Gilly, because of the team, because of that bike, how much he loves the power and such. So I don't know. I think it'll take him a while to learn, like Indy soil. There's no way he practices on anything like Indy. And then you go like just different soils. I don't know. I just feel like it's going to take him a while, just like it took Chase a while to learn that bike.
Okay, so for Eli Tomac right now, I think everybody in here is in agreement that, I don't know if it's is agreeance a word? I'm not sure. Sure. But Eli has earned multi-time champ, legend of the game. I love the fact that the fans have kind of relaxed on him. He can go out there and have a bad race
100%.
and get fifth, and it's not the end of the world. I love that. But what is success? Like, what would a successful transition to KTM look like for Eli, results-wise, with where he's at now?
It's a good question.
That's
Because
a tough question.
there were times this year where, to me, I watched Eli ride, and I'm like, that might be the best Eli I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you have Jett,
Yeah.
Hunter, Chase, these guys that have made another step that almost make Tomac look a little bit more human. So I'm trying, in my mind, I've been trying to decide what success in 25 and 26 looks like for Eli.
Well, I think it's clear on his face. Even when he gets third, he's smiling. He's happy. So
you've
I
taken
think
them-
that is success because he realizes how good the Lawrences are. He realizes how good Chase is. Like, he realizes how many great racers there are right now. So that's all. Like, and honestly, I'm just stoked that he's still there because I think if he wins the championship, is that in 23? 22.
23.
If he wins that championship, I don't think he's racing, you know what I mean, like into, I think he's got a
We're not
two-year deal.
talking about him racing.
Yeah, we're not talking
certainly
about
not racing a
So
KTM.
the sport with Eli Tomac in it, I don't care what color his bike is much better.
I totally agree with your point. You took the words out of my mouth. He knows that he's ridden some exceptional races this year. He's just been beaten by better riders, and you know you can see it when he's riding. There's some of his best motos that we've seen at times, but you know, unfortunately, there's just two kids from Australia that are better than him right now. You know, and it's going to take. Oh, I don't know if he's going to be able to bridge that gap, but like Adam said, he's willing to put the work in. Like, he goes to that test track and he puts the work in to do it. So he'll put his best foot forward.
And I just think, I think it's cool that Eli is able to have his ego in check. Like you guys said, to get third, to get beat, putting everything you have when you're used to winning, you're used to being the guy, and to be able to have a smile on your face and be like, these guys are just, they were just better tonight. I think that's cool from like a superstar in the sport.
I think that's perspective, right? At his age. What
yeah.
is he, 31 now?
Yeah.
You know, he's got perspective that he can realize that, hey, I'm putting my best foot forward, and these guys are just taking the sport to another level. I think that's just perspective for him.
My favorite thing about the sport right now, and ACU and I've talked about this a lot, but Eli Tomac, Ken Roxon, Jason Anderson, Justin Barsha, the list goes on and on. Like, they all have perspective now, and we're keeping these guys, Malcolm Stewart, we're keeping them around longer. And, like, the sport, I mean, what better time to be a fan of Supercross and motocross? Like, it's the best time to be a fan.
Sometimes I get, like, pretty sad thinking about all these guys
when they're gone,
retiring. Like, are these, like, Anderson, Malcolm, Tomac, Cooper Webb? I mean, he's getting up there, too. Are all these guys going to retire at, like, literally the same time? Because 3 or 4 could drop any offseason now.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, so let's enjoy it while we're here, folks.
Well, so next one. AC, you know the Kawasaki very well. You know Chase Sexton very well.
Confirm, not slow.
It's not slow?
No, it's not slow. No, I went to the, no, I did. So I don't even have a factory bike anymore. I don't even have a factory bike. I just have the SR, like off the showroom floor. And I went and rode Supercross a couple weeks ago, and I never took the thing out of first gear.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Told you, BT.
For like the first half hour.
Whoops and all.
Oh, what'd you do in the whoops?
Wow. Look, man, I got a nerve injury in my hand, okay? Hey, I'll tell you guys this story that I was telling JB earlier. So I feel like it's almost, gosh, there's nothing worse than being bad in the whoops on a dirt bike. It's like your manhood is in question. Like, right? Is that not the deal? Is that not the deal?
I can attest to that. I tell you, the first day I was at the Kiwi test track, the one beside the freeway, and Grant Langston said to me, you better shift up 2 gears. And I said, I'm in 4th gear. And he said, well, you better be in top gear. You click 6th when you come out of that turn and hold that thing wide open. I said, there's no way. I am not,
yeah, no
to
shot.
your point, I am not man enough to do that.
The story that I was getting to, my last couple years, in part because, I don't know, maybe I was just getting old, getting scared, and also I had this nerve damage in my hand. And so the more I skimmed the whoops, the less strength I would have in my hand, right? Well, anyway, we're at Tampa 2023, Australia's own Chad Reed. Chad Reed's old mechanic, Oscar, was my crew chief, my years on Kawasaki in the 450 class. I remember Chad Reed, we're walking the track, Tampa Supercross. He looks at Oscar, and he's like, he sees me standing there. Chad sees me standing there. And he tells Oscar, he's like, you need to figure out a way to get your boy to double through these whoops as quick as he can or something. And it was just like the biggest stab in my heart, dude. One of the best to ever do it in the whoops.
Ouch.
Just put me down. Put me down. Brutal.
Yeah. Ouch. So what do you think? Last thing before we bring up Phil Nicoletti, but Sexton to Cowie.
Love it.
You love it?
Yeah, I love it. Well, I do think that the things that Chase does really well, I think that Cowie does really well. I think straight line speed, like him pushing through a rhythm section, him in the whoops, I think he's great. I think sometimes the Cowie can struggle in the really tighter turns, especially you go somewhere like Indy where the track's really ruddy. But I think Chase is strong enough. I think his technique is good enough where he can negate some of the little weaknesses and get the most out of it in a straight line where he does his work.
BT?
Where are you at with it?
I like it.
Yeah,
I
JB
like
loves it.
I like it. And go ahead, and then I
feel like
I'll
you're
tell you
about to
why I
give
like
us a
it.
little dose of.
Well, I've been on record of saying it. I don't see anything changing until he changes the top 2 inches. That's as far as I see it. Like I just feel like there's a common denominator or a common theme with the way Chase has raced, and I'm not trying to have a go at him. I'm just saying, like, I don't see him achieving his potential. He should be the one guy that should be able to challenge Jett, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't see that happening on any colour motorcycle until he has a change in from a mental perspective or a mental state.
How does he do that?
He has to get a coach or a mentor. He needs a Johnny O in his corner that can help.
Ben Townley.
It's not a Ben. It's not a Ben.
Yeah, it's a pit.
It's not a Ben Townley. It's someone that has the experience in the American racing scene that can help take him through that process of being a champion at the level that I believe he should or could and should be. That's what I see. Hey, look, I'm not in the thick of it like you guys, and you probably know more behind the scenes than I do, but that's what I see as a fan from TV.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, you're definitely not wrong. The main reason I like it is it's getting to the last resort, kind of. Like,
is it the last resort?
Like, his back's up against the wall, so I don't think he has a choice anymore. And I'm with you on the upper 2 inches. What I would expand on that is I believe he needs to be a little bit better leader of people. And what I mean by that is essentially, look, we have team managers and such, and they're the leaders of the team, but essentially the rider is the leader of the team. Right? Would you guys agree? Like, the attitude of the rider can lead a suspension technician or engine technician down a frustration road or a road where they'll run through a wall for you because you're treating them with respect, you're giving them good information, and I think that's where – and I do think Chase has gotten better at that. I mean, when he was on our show, AC, like, he was taking some ownership, some accountability that I hadn't heard in maybe ever. So BT, we've heard the accountability, which – I hear what you say, but I trust what you do type of thing, right? We'll see. But also think just him having his back up against the wall. He knows the narrative. You're not the only one saying it. We're not the only ones talking about it. He knows the narrative, so I just feel like his back is up against the wall enough. He's got a bunch of smart people at Cowie. They're more data-driven than ever, so maybe he needs some proof, like, on paper of what direction we're going. Or I don't know. I think it's getting to the end of the rope where it's like, this has to work. It has to work, and I think it will.
And I think Cowie is probably in a similar spot.
True, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think a lot of times with teams, and I don't think this is what happened with Jorge at all, but I think it's really important. And I think we've seen it a lot with Honda and how that program is. You and I have talked about that a lot, how everybody's rowing in the same direction. Like, everybody has a voice, everybody's listened to, they take all the data into account, they make decisions, they move forward together. I think there's just been a lot with Chase, it seems like a lot of bad blood with the teams that he's at, right? Even with KTM, him
Totally,
not
yeah.
racing a little bit. So I'm not quite sure what it is. I've known Chase since he was 14 or 15 years old, and I think his biggest strength is how much of a competitor he is. I mean, he is a psycho competitor.
For sure.
And I think it's really difficult to manage that all the time. I brought up Kobe Bryant earlier. How many great stories have you heard about Kobe, but how many bad ones? People that hate him, people that this. Like, it's really hard to kind of wrangle in the emotion that comes with being a psycho athlete and making that relatable to the other people around you. I think it's difficult. And I was never, there's some kids in here, but I was never enough of an a-hole. Like, I never was enough of an asshole, and I think sometimes that can be good, too. Like, and I think Chase has that part covered. And I would say that to him if he's sitting right here.
Yeah, I mean, hearing what you have to say, I think we're probably saying the same thing in a sense that there has to be a change in the way that he works with his team. Like, if he, I think you said it, JB, in terms of potentially he's got offside with the actual personnel that he's worked with in some way, shape, or form. Not to the extent that we've seen in recent times, maybe with other riders, but I think that if he doesn't make a change there, they're not going to be able to help him elevate to where he needs to be. And that's really, in this day and age, we've talked about it so much with the motorcycle and the staff that work on that bike. You have to help lead them and guide them the direction you want to go and make the most out of the motorcycle, work to its strengths, you know. So it'll be I'm really intrigued to see if there will be a change. You know, that's, for me, that's the most intriguing change, because at the end of the day, what I see, or at his age, he is the one guy that I still think has all of the tools to be able to be a Supercross champion, or at least win at the level that he's capable of beating Jett. That's what I feel.
Yeah, that one's going to be fun to watch. Let's get Phil Nicoletti's opinion on all this. Welcome, Filthy Phil, up here. We got some Filthy fans in the house.
Cheers.
I should have.
Look at him drinking beers. Man of the people.
Yeah. Glad to see you guys got a beer or something to drink up here. Oh, water. Are we racing tomorrow?
No.
We're grinding.
I am,
we're grinding.
actually.
I can tell.
I don't know if you heard, but we're doing like a little 3-lap sudden death.
Well, make sure you stay hydrated, bro. Don't want to ruin it.
Hey, how's the hand? How's the hand, bro?
It's all right. You know, it's a little tender, a little boxer's fracture, but that's part of it.
Good players get penalized.
You got some apologizing to do to some Australians. She's from the UK, right?
He's a Kiwi.
Or is it Kiwi?
He's a Kiwi, yeah,
No.
exactly. Dirty dogs. You know, in the press conference, you asked me, I wanted to pull out the McGregor line. You know, I got something to say, you know. I like to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody, you know. But I missed it, so here we are. We'll say it on your show.
Yeah. Dude, you're running into people out there. I mean, it took you half a lap. Not even half a lap.
And
you've seen this, right?
Listen,
Oh, I saw it.
No. And you know whose fault this is? It all comes back to the number 10. I'm out there.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I buy that.
I'm out there getting... Can I curse on here or no? I'm out here getting pinballed out there. Sunday morning, I wake up to do this again, and I'm sitting there in the chair, and I'm like, God, my hand's hurting, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, dude, JB screwed me. Screwed me.
Well,
he's supposed to be out there getting pinballed with me, and he's up there in the announcer's tout. Oh, Nicoletti's down again. Nicoletti got up to take it out. Nicoletti's off the track, and I'm just like, dude. And then he comes over at the end of the night and has the balls to ask me, what happened, dude? What was
Got
that?
him. Got him.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I was on the ground more than I was up, but here we are, back for round 3.
Yeah, we were watching. We watched it.
It's not much to watch.
hey, one.
BT's up in the stands with his hand down like this. Like,
You were supposed to be retired. We both technically retired in Salt Lake 2024. You stole my thunder.
I did steal
You
your
stole
thunder.
my thunder. We did a dual little sight lap.
Yeah, we did.
For the fans.
Yeah, we did.
I wanted the spotlight on me, dude. I didn't want anybody else out there.
Well,
the next thing you know, you're Canadian champ. You're down here in Australia racing. It's a short-lived retirement.
VMXDN
yeah,
champ.
that's right.
Yep.
Yeah,
He races more now in retirement than he did a full-time racer.
Yeah, it's gotten pretty stressful. I don't know.
Looks like it.
wasn't.
Looks real stressful.
It wasn't supposed to be like this, but here we are. You know, again, I was supposed to be on a retirement tour, and JB threw me under the bus. So it is what it is. You know?
No, how it went was, so I was contemplating racing this season. I was. And Phil was as well. Well, Phil comes off a Canadian national championship, So he's on a high. He's got bidding wars all over the world for him. He's being pulled in every which direction. I'm like, so he calls me about this deal with Dak, and I'm like, man, it'd actually be really fun to like prepare together. So Phil and I live like 15 minutes from each other in North Carolina.
He lives in a much higher residential neighborhood than
please.
me. All right, there's like a wall that I'm not
Please.
allowed in there.
Hey, have you?
That's 15
Get
minutes.
out of here.
Just
He's not telling
remember
me.
Hey, yeah, I've seen your backyard, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen your backyard.
People like me don't belong
Hey.
in those backyards.
Hey, Justin. Hey, this is a true story. Justin invited me before Charlotte SMX. He invited me out like the week prior. We're gonna go play some golf, and he says, "Yeah, you come out a week early." He said, "There's a really nice hotel right down the street." Like you didn't even invite me to your house, bro.
No, because I know you, dude. We're getting off on a tangent, but Adam Cianciarillo, he doesn't like people, man.
That's
He doesn't like people.
untrue.
He doesn't like people.
That's fake news.
No, it is fake news. And I
don't
thought
blame
you'd be
you.
more comfortable in a hotel. I have 3 kids. Who wants to stay in a house with 3 kids that not used to having kids? Right, BT?
That's a hell of a change for you, AC, going
Wait,
to a house with
was
3
it,
kids.
Was it the hotel around the Whole Foods area?
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly. Different clientele right here, all right? Again, people like me don't stay in that hotel room, all right?
Please.
So there you go.
Please.
Nice
so
hotel.
I was like, Phil, it would be awesome to ride together, train together, prepare together. And then I went out like the next week, and a flying bike across the track hit me, broke my wrist, and Phil was solo. So here we are. I'm talking about it, and he's out there doing it.
That's messed up, dude. I got screwed. But all kidding aside, I am enjoying it. It is fun. My butthole's a little puckered up out there, but I am having a little bit of fun. You know, the 3 in before the Supercross triple.
Dude,
I'm
come
like,
on with that today.
damn it, dude.
I finally had to block past you and say, come on, dude,
I know,
follow me.
I've-
Come on. I see
you
you
didn't-
size it up like 7 times.
You didn't the triple in the middle of the track?
No,
I
the
jumped
3
it.
before the triple.
3. I'll go.
Out of
roll
Oh
two.
no, I'm out on that. I'm out on. I thought
You
I was
didn't do
gonna.
it either?
No, well, it's because the transition, the berm is pretty
Thank you.
steep,
Oh
and then
my
the
gosh.
bike kind of rebounds.
my
You know,
gosh.
one of those, and then you just kind of sit into it and just.
BT,
Yeah,
we're
no.
going to need some coaching tomorrow, mate. We're going to need some coaching.
I think we're heading out soon if we're that far behind. But
I'm gonna put Jagger on my bike instead. Have at it, kid. You want to be a pro? Go get him.
Have you actually been having a good time down here?
I have. Yeah. I haven't been training as much as I'd like to. I'm down in Torquay. It's a little bit of a surf town, but
As he's got a beer in his hand, folks.
yeah, I'm taking in the Aussie culture, you know. So yes, I am enjoying myself. Listen, I am. Obviously, the result at Red Cliff sucked, and if it was better, it'd make it, you know, the whole vibe better. But we got this weekend, and I think it'd be okay. I still feel really good on the bike and stuff. So
Yeah, and you honestly looked really good. Like, your starts are great. If it wasn't for the couple first lap stuff, like, you're in a good position. You were. I mean, I called you for a podium. So
yeah, well, we're pretty far from that. So
what do you think, BT?
Yeah,
You were there last week.
I
Or
did a
couple
bit of
weeks ago.
racing with Phil a couple of weeks ago,
yeah.
and you didn't get me in any of the starts, so I don't know about where
Yeah.
your starts are at.
Oh, really? You whole shotted him.
Every moto.
Because he had a
Oh, wow.
Especially
no,
the last one.
no. This
The
is some,
last
no, this
one.
is some bullshit.
Oh,
Dude, they gave BT a legit pro circuit YZ 250 two-stroke. I mean, the thing sounded like a fire-breathing dragon. I
thing-
rev
the thing
mine, and every
was.
time it fucking fouled a plug, dude.
that's because when you ride it that slow, that's
He
why.
He had 20-second gate pick, and he had enough time to have the gate drop and just come across on all of us. Yeah, yes, he did. He did clean it. Yes.
I don't think you know the whole story behind
I know
that.
the whole
Do you
story.
want to know the
Nah,
whole story?
I just know your bike was way better than mine, and I got set up for
No, that's
failure.
not what happened. I'll tell you what
I
happened.
got set up for failure. There wasn't enough show-up money to make me go do that. If I knew any better,
Let me set the story straight. Turn your microphone
it to us.
off. Right. So I'll just set the scene, right? We're standing on the start gate. We're talking shit. Phil's really good at that, obviously. Just dribble just coming out. The race before us, there's a red flag. Someone in the race hits a flag marshal. So it was serious.
yeah, it was like a 30-minute delay. It was a long time.
So Phil's over there talking with Porcel, speaking a bit of Fringlish, and I'm
U.S. passport, by the way, Porcel, U.S. citizen.
and I start talking to the starter, the guy that drops the gate, and I
Veteran move right there.
and I'm like, so I start talking to the guy. I'm like, "Do you have a good night in the beer tent?" Like, "Oh, hell of a night." I says to him, "How would you like a bar tab for tonight?" He said, "I'd love one."
That's an
true story.
FIM sanctioned event, dude.
I says,
FIM.
I says to the guy,
True story.
I says to the guy, right.
Leave it to the fucking Kiwi over here, all right? That's right.
So no one really knows the story. I says to the guy, "I'll put 20 quid on the bar under your name if you drop the gate at 3 seconds."
No way.
Veteran move, mate.
So
Pound that.
it goes 30 seconds, and you're, what was it, 30?
Yeah, 30.
30 seconds. It turns to 5, goes 5, 4, 3, 2, and I'm gone.
Wow.
That's
Phil's
amazing.
still getting sorted, ready to look down at the guy.
I didn't even have my biking gear, dude.
That's a veteran move right there. I like that, BT. I like that one. That's a good one.
That's
You didn't know that, Phil?
Hey, one time, this is super off topic, but speaking of bad starts, there's one time at Redbud, that 30-second board went up, card went sideways, rev the bike up, gate drops, I let the clutch out, bike's in neutral.
Dude.
I did that. I did that at a pro motocross national. Riding for Pro Circuit Kawasaki. I did that. That was great. I was just trying to add something.
No, that's great. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's pretty awesome that you didn't know that.
No.
That is awesome.
Again, FIM
cannot believe-
sanctioned event. The gate drops between 5 and 10 seconds.
Hey, you might want to add in allegedly to that, just
Yeah.
in case I didn't know.
Maybe I
And you know
Yeah.
what? You didn't even leave the poor SOB any money at the beer tent, did you? You just pieced out of there.
Did you leave him
Yeah.
money?
No, I
bullshit. Now you're
going
gonna tell them you left the money, but you didn't leave no money. No.
Next year.
Yeah. Typical Kiwi move. I don't trust you as far as I can throw you, BT.
Phil, you've had experience with a lot of different bikes. We're gonna change it up now. What move do you like the best? Prado, Anderson, who you know well,
Yeah.
Sexton, Tomac. Which one?
I think the Anderson to Suzuki will be pretty
Like that one?
badass. It'll be low key, a pretty goat move. I think the engine package on the Suzuki is really fast. Obviously, it hasn't changed much since the JGR days, and Jamie Ellis from Twisted does those engines. I think it'll be pretty spot on that bike. I think you see an RMZ get 2 to 3 wins this year.
2 to 3.
2 to
wins.
3.
2 to 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
What,
That's
an
a hot
RMZ?
take.
Like Kenny gets one and Jason gets
No,
a
I
couple?
think
or-
Jason wins 2 or 3 Supercrosses this year.
Really?
Yeah. I honestly do.
People
That's
forget he
pretty
won
cool.
7.
Seven.
Yeah, I mean, he's
2022.
really good.
No, he was, and I'll say this: when he was at club training, Jason's got this, like he's a burnout type attitude. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't put in a whole lot of work. That dude, I've never seen someone do so many motos and so many laps in my entire life. Like I was actually impressed. On the way in his rental car to club from Charlotte, it's about an hour and a half drive. He got a flat tire, left the rental car, ordered an Uber, and then Ubered the rest of the way down the club just so he could do his
Just
motos.
to get his motos in. Dang.
I would be like, nah, I'm out. That's it for the day. If I got a flat tire, it's meant I'm not.
It took a while.
right.
It took a while for people to catch on to that, but his whole vibe, like I don't really care about this stuff. It took a while for people to see through that.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that guy that does that's not intentional. Everything he does is intentional, and he wants it. He wants it.
I agree, and I don't think you can be that good and win races without putting in that type of work and effort. So I think it'd be okay. But obviously, everyone knows Prado to KTM or whatever. But I think that's going to be the biggest. What if? What can happen? Which I don't know. I text him. He says it's the best he's felt in a long time.
Really?
So
The only thing that I will say about that, and I'm on record, I'm rooting for the 21, like he's going to do it. This is just in general. When is the last time a factory rider has changed teams and not said it's the best bike he's ever ridden in his life. It's
Yeah,
the best
this time
he's
of
ever
year is-
felt.
Everyone.
It's never happened.
Yeah, this time of year,
Every
everyone's talking
single
about
time, no matter what. That's what Prado said. That's what Prado said.
I've said it a lot.
BT, I'm sure you've went to some new teams. You're like, oh, this thing's amazing. And then you get to the race, you're like, ooh.
Well,
oops.
we
whoops.
haven't touched on the Prado point yet. Like, what surprises me is his confidence that he believes that it's so much about the motorcycle, and that if you give him what he feels that he needs underneath him, he's just going to go out there and perform at the level that he has in his mind. Or am I missing something? Because I don't feel...
Well, this is a point on delusional confidence and like how much it hurts you versus how much it helps you. And I feel like being delusionally confident in yourself is going to work out in your favor more often than not.
I don't know what...
I think.
I must have missed out on the delusional confidence thing. Where did...
You never
I
seen
just
those guys?
suck, so I don't know. There's no delusional confidence. Like, yeah, I'm great when you suck. I don't know. Fuck. You know what I mean?
How many guys, at least like in my career, even I think back to like specific little amateur races, guys that shouldn't be as good as they are, that just believe that they're that somehow. I don't know why they're like naturally predisposed to thinking that way, but the guys that like see past their own weaknesses and they're just like, I'm the guy. They end up getting the most out of themselves. They really do.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. We've seen it with...
It's like being a critical thinker of your own abilities is not always the move.
I mean, we've seen it a lot with Chad Reed, right? Shout out to Chad. He's getting inducted today into the American Motorcyclists Association Hall of Fame. Australia's own, so pretty cool. But Chad was that way a lot with Ricky, right? Or even James. He would get beat by 20, 30 seconds, and the next week he would beat them and say he's just barely off. Like there's BT, you lived that a lot in that area, right?
Yeah, and I did for sure, but specifically with, like, if you just draw comparisons, right, with that scenario with Chad, and you compare that with Jorge, I just can't wrap my head around how he thinks that going to a KTM now is going to allow him to be that much more competitive. Like, do you guys honestly believe that is going to be the case? Like, I can't see that happening.
Phil?
Well, I'm kind of scared of being labeled. I'm kind of scared of being labeled like just a hater. You know, like I would like to see him do well. But
yeah, well,
no,
you're in
I don't.
journalism
I
now.
don't get it.
You're going to be labeled a hater.
Huh?
You're a journalist now, so you're going to be labeled a hater.
Yeah, probably.
You know, that's the way it goes.
No, I don't get that whole deal.
No, nor do I.
I really don't.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared to like give my opinion on that. I just don't see how you think that you can jump on a different color motorcycle and be that much better. Like we've seen, you know, like you said, like the strengths of the Kiwi and what it does. The KTM has strengths. They all are very good motorcycles at that level. And I don't think that he can have that much confidence to feel like, oh, I'm just going to be all of a sudden overnight this off-season competitive up front.
I think the hardest part's going to be getting through 17 weeks of Supercross healthy.
That's another point.
With even delusional confidence at that point, because we all agree, like, it's not like he's going to go on the podium run in Supercross, right? There's just no shot. So to still have confidence in May, at the end of May, Phil, like, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we all know injuries or whatever, but to be able to come into Paula healthy, 100%, to be where he wants to be, to run with Jett, which is what he thinks in his mind, it's a big ask. I don't care what motorcycle you think is going to get you there or not, but even Prado in the GPs and this and that, when he was at peak, I still don't think he's not at Jett's level, you know?
Yeah,
and I think that's a hard reality to, I mean, I'm not a champion like any of you guys, but
Canadian champion?
Yeah, sure.
Come on.
That's
You're
a hard
champion, dude.
that's
You're
a hard
champion.
yeah, that's a harsh reality to swallow though, you know? Not being at that level like Jett, even though you are a world champ. So, we'll see.
Do you think, BT, at Jorge's peak, I mean, you raced the GPs, world champ, you came to America, you know that level more than most, right? At his peak, could he come to America and beat Jett Lawrence?
No.
No.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think when you're comparing him to Jett specifically, you're looking at, this is what I believe, the best human that's ever thrown a leg over a motorcycle to ride and race, you know. So that's a very, to draw that comparison and match him up against him, that's very harsh. But I don't think that he wins in America whether Jett's on the start line or not. And that's just what I believe in terms of where he's at in terms of the level of American racing, is what I believe. It's certainly no shot in Supercross, no shot whatsoever. And doing that in motocross would be tough as well. I mean, he didn't even show in terms of just raw speed anything in the realm of being at that level, in my opinion, just in raw speed. So to do that over, 11 rounds now, 22 motos, that would be a very tough ask, in my opinion. And I'm not taking anything away from what he achieved in his career in Europe. I'm just answering that question of what I believe is possible in America right now.
I straight up don't know how it could possibly go that bad.
I can't
Like
fathom
I
that.
can't. I really, really cannot understand what had to have been happening behind the scenes, how bad, besides putting like a 125cc motor in the motorcycle, I don't understand. Like, you go out there, and if he tried his best the entire year, he doesn't get worse than 7th one single time. Like, not one single time. But let's transition to a more positive note. You're talking about Jett being the best to ever throw a leg over a motorcycle. How long until the world gets there? To where it's like, Jett's just the greatest of all time, period, and there's no discussion.
I don't know.
Are we like 2 years out? Wow.
Wow, that's bold.
Yeah, that's real bold.
Cole Davies is going to match him. What do you think about that, BT?
I think as a rider, in terms of like just as his riding his technical ability and what he's able to do on a motorcycle, potentially he has the ability to do that. But there's a lot of water to go under that bridge before he would be competitive with someone like Jett. What I do believe with Jett is we're seeing a combination of so many elements of what he is as an athlete, right? I think one of the big things that stands out to me is just how simple he keeps his racing. You know, like I remember something that really stands out from me was this year at Redbud. They asked him, I think JT asked him on the podium, where did he get up in, like 18th position or something like that?
Redbud, Moto 2, I think, yeah.
He got up off the ground at the end of the rollers there. And they said, what were you thinking? He said, well, I just wanted to know what position I was, and then I just worked my way forward from 18th to 17th to 16th. And you can see it's just a real simple, the way he applies his racing craft, it's just super simple. And we all overthink the whole process, but he's doing all of the 1%ers just all of the time. And every time he rides a motorcycle, that's what he's doing. There's elements that I think we don't see, or I can't speak for you guys, but in terms of the way he sees things through his eyes, we don't see the same things that he sees on a motorcycle. And I think there's very few people in the sport that have ever been able to look at the track like that. James Stewart is definitely one of them, and I feel like he views the track in the same element to James Stewart, but he's almost sees it in a different frame to what James saw it, because he makes far less mistakes in terms of the way that he's seeing it.
It always looks like it's at his own speed. It never looks rushed. Yeah. Not in the first lap, not if he's in 20th, 5th, championship on the line. It's always at his own speed.
Yeah, and I think another point, you know, you can list so many points. One thing is he's able to manage his racing when he's at the front like no one we've ever seen before. I laugh sometimes when I hear RC and James talk about on the broadcast how he's not winning by 20 or 30 seconds like we did. He doesn't care as long as he gets over the finish. He doesn't even have to win the actual moto per se. As long as he wins the overall and he takes away the bonus check of 100K and the most points for the day, he's happy. There's so many elements to Jett that we look at him as a phenomenal rider, but if you start to strip back the layers, there's so many areas that he covers the best as good as any of the best ever have, and he's covering all of those layers. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, when you talk to Jett, there's not much there. You know what I mean? Like, and he'll say the same. He's just this, like, happy-go-lucky, jolly kid with not much of an intelligent IQ level. But for some reason, when he puts his helmet and his goggles on, his intelligence just goes through the roof. And we've all, well, UAC, we've raced tracks that Jett has rode on, and I've hit the lines in the same straightaways and the same bumps, and I'm like, how do you slow things down to be able to process, to be like, okay, this bump and this bump and this bump is going to be a combo? Like, how is he able to, again, Jett's as smart as his beam, be able to process that?
That is crazy.
When he's on a dirt bike. I mean, everyone's seen the clip from him at Ironman when, you know, he's coming across all those ruts. Like, dude, where does his mind, like, he's kind of like Rain Man.
How,
you know?
is it coached? Like, is it coached? Or is he kind of like naturally predisposed? Of course, some of it's coached, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, how much of it is just the guy's just special in a good way, not your way, not like Paul.
No, he is, but his intelligence, like, when you compare him and Hunter, like, Hunter's like a super analysis, everything crosses its T's and dots his I's, and Jett's just like, make sure he puts his socks on the right way and shoes, you know what I mean? But then when he gets on a dirt bike, it's just like, dude, who are you, and are you possessed? Like, it is really, and Hunter said it on Gypsy Tales, it's just like, when he gets on the bike and helmet and goggles, it's just like, God takes over and he's like a puppet, and he's just like pop, 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 bouncing around. I'm like, dude, it's unbelievable.
To me, that simplicity that you're talking about, him as a person, you see that also on the motorcycle in terms of what he does. Like, we all, you strip it back to everything that we see that's phenomenal, but there's also a lot of just simple things that he does really well every time he rides a motorcycle, and that, to me, is coached.
Well, yeah. And I think, yeah, every part of that program is intentional. At the end of the day, there's no holes in the program. Like, you look at it from top to bottom, and I don't think there's ever been, maybe RC in ways, but you would say, like, even the whoops for RC, like, he would tell you is no good. Like, there's just nothing that Jett does during the week. There's nothing that's missing. There's nothing that's missing.
I've been in the Honda truck, in 2023 when he was going undefeated, and we come down to whatever, Budds Creek or Ironman, the last motos for him to go undefeated, and I walk in, and he's just playing music, shirt off, pants sagging, dancing around, like, dude, playing Brazilian music. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, shouldn't you be in the zone, focusing or whatever? He could care less about what was going on. It was just, like BT said, the simplicity of it. But again, what he does on the track is not simple.
I'll tell you a story though, right? So this is on the polar opposite end of that. JB was there this day. It was leading up to Daytona in 2022 or 23. I can't remember what year it was, but that's irrelevant. He was testing a 450 for the very first time on a supercross track. I was there for 2 days. He was there from dawn till dusk. And he might, in that entire 2 days that I was there, he might have done 2 laps straight, right, in testing form. He was working on that motorcycle as hard as he possibly could with his engineers to make that bike the best it possibly could be to go around the track at the speed that he wanted to go, right? So when you talk about intentional and you talk about how blasé it can be, there's all the way through that whole scale, he is there in terms of preparing to be the best possible athlete we've ever seen on a motorcycle. There's no doubt about it.
It's interesting that you say that, BT, because you spent a lot of time with what we consider right now the greatest of all time. You trained with Ricky Carmichael. You spent a lot of time. So in spending time with Ricky, what was his kind of strength? Like, was he that simple? Was he simple-minded, or was everything really thought out and intentional? From your lens, what were you seeing then compared to what Jett is now?
Yeah, intentional, absolutely, and just willing to work train the house down, work as hard as he possibly could to improve the motorcycle, just cover all of his bases, to make sure that he went to the race knowing he's done everything he possibly could have done to be prepared to win. And you know, Phil says, you know, he's in there listening to Brazilian music and he's just having a good time. In terms of what I've personally seen behind the scenes, there's no doubt that everything, like Adam said, is very, very intentional across the board. And I think you're right, AC, in terms of what you've seen. You know, RC was, you know, the greatest of all time, is the greatest of all time in our sport.
And Jett wouldn't be Jett without RC. I mean, it's an evolution.
Yeah, but right? I think to your point, what I'm seeing is the evolution is he's just being able to cover all of those bases better, and that's how I see it. And I think the big one is technically what he's able to do on a motorcycle is astonishing at times. Like Phil said, like, was it you that just said, you know, he crossed those ruts at Ironman? It's on film, you know, what he was able to do. Even at Ironman in the Motocross of Nations, that same obstacle, have you seen that? When
he's
lands,
just like, he skips it like a whoop section.
Yeah.
But like, how mid-race or whatever are you able to process that
you know
and be
what?
like, put it into fruition to where it's just like, yeah, I can do this?
You know that 90-degree
I would die
at the Motocross of Nations? The best guys in the world were there, right? That's the best race, the pinnacle of our sport. And he was the only guy jumping that 90-degree turn over that roller. You know, it's what he does is phenomenal.
Hey, there was a time. I mean, I wasn't my last couple years racing. It's not like I was, you know, at the point in the field every time I was out there. But Jett, that year, 2023, the perfect season. He's what, like 14 years old on a 450. He's won every moto. And I used to think that I was good in qualifying. Like, I had some good one-lap heaters.
You were.
I put down this time at Millville, and I'm like, I think I finally did it. Like, I think I really just took it to him. Like, yeah, man, after you just won 18 straight, like, I got you. Last lap, go back to the truck, didn't get it, bumped me off, go back to the truck. It's like 3.5 seconds. And I'm like, yep, I'm done.
I remember that.
I'm done. It's over.
Really?
It's over.
I was 9 seconds off that day in that practice.
Dude, I was like, what can I do?
Jett, what are you laughing at, dude?
Australia's own. You guys got some special talent. The Lawrence brothers, that's for sure. Let's, man, this has been a ton of fun. We're almost out of time, but we want to do some fan questions. So you guys got some questions for any one of us up here. We'll probably take a mic around and ask us anything.
Ask him whatever you want.
You're up, mate.
I'll take it. I guess I'll chime in on the Tomac KTM Yamaha thing. I feel Tomac suited the Yamaha. If he stayed on Yamaha, a top 10 to 5th place is sweet. I feel the pressure going to KTM, he's going to need podiums. What do you guys think? Well, I think otherwise it's going to be like, oh, he made a wrong decision. Oh, Tomac. I just feel if he stayed Yamaha and was getting worse positions than what he would get on the KTM, it would be better looking at, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, and you honestly make a really good point because I do believe that in his mind he's probably more motivated than ever. There's a new scenery around. There's a new front fender to look at. There's a new group of people, which, like BT said, they're going to move heaven and earth to make it right.
Yep.
And so you definitely have a valid point. Like, I think he'll put, not that he wouldn't put effort in if he was on Yamaha, but Phil, he's got a point. Like, he could put just that extra little 0.5% of effort in at KTM to make it work.
Yeah, but I think he was doing that at Yamaha still at the end of SMX. Like, it's not like he was
pushing hard.
Yeah, like, it's not like he was trying to cheap out and just coasting a paycheck, you know? But I think he does have a point to prove. But I had just walked in when you guys were talking. When he was getting third, he was still smiling and being happy around that position. But I think Eli deep down still feels like he wants to win and be that guy. Is reality setting into where he's not, and it's becoming inevitable for him not to be able to rise up to Jett or Hunter's pace or even Sexton's now. But I think the KTM might be another, fresher breath of air. Be like, hey, I got another chance to come out, relearn a bike, and make the best as possible and see what he can do.
I just think it's great going back to him smiling. I mean, you look back to the Dungy years, the RV years,
yeah.
where it just looked like those guys
Miserable.
hated their life, man. Like it really did. So to see a legend in the sport like having fun, getting third, I think that's a good place to be.
Can I just say one more thing, just about
Yep.
that situation?
Speak into the mic.
I want to buy a Yamaha because of Tomac, right?
Yep, that's cool.
Maybe not. Okay, I shouldn't say not because of Webb or Deegan or whatnot, because they are great in their own ways. But fuck, man, sorry for swearing. The way Tomac,
You're okay,
we're in
dude.
Australia.
I'm already in trouble.
We're in Australia. The way Tomac rides that Yamaha, bro. I just went out last week and bought my son a YZ65. He was on a red one because of Jett and Hunter, but he wanted a blue one because of the way Tomac rides. So I think I don't know, Yamaha should have just said, listen, we'll give you X amount for a certain amount of years, like maybe like Villapoto or whatnot. Finish your career off. It's all good whether you come top 10 or whatever. You're Eli Tomac, you're on Yamaha. I think maybe, I don't know, going to KTM, you got a little bit more pressure to do good, and maybe if he doesn't get the results that he's looking for.
Yeah, but does he care though? Like about the pressure at this point?
He don't care.
You know?
I just
I
don't
get what
want-
you're saying.
I just don't want the fans to be like, he shouldn't have gone there.
I think we're missing a little bit.
Wow.
Oi, bro, Tomac needs a fire-breathing dragon. the KD, I don't know. Hey, we're in Australia and we're going to say it how it is.
Be better going to KX for sure, wouldn't you think? Like,
Well, I think we're missing
going
a
back
point
to
with
where-
with the Yamaha thing. We're not just talking 500 grand though. Like we're talking millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I
Like-
mean? So like, just to pull up
Hey,
an extra.
It's
Yeah,
Eli
you-
Tomac, bro.
I understand. Look, I'm with you. I'm saying I wish it could happen, but if you're paying Deegan a couple million and Cooper Webb a couple million, you got a couple million left for Eli Tomac. Like it's really tough.
As good as Cooper Webb is and as many championships as he's won, I ain't buying a Yamaha because of Cooper Webb. I'm sorry.
I know, but he just won the title. He just won his third Supercross championship.
That's what I said.
Do you know what, though?
I'm buying a.
My kid's 5, and it's funny. I said to him, I go, who's your favourite rider? And he goes, Cooper Webb. And I go, Mum, I'm happy with that because he's a dog.
Yeah, there you go. He is a dog.
You know what I mean? He's
He is a dog.
fucking dog.
But yeah.
He's got a
Tell
beard
Yamaha
in his ear.
Australia that for me. Thank you. But Eli, I mean, I think we can all agree. Yamaha did give Eli a deal for this coming year, but it just wasn't what he was used to
they did.
making, you
I
know?
see.
And at
Okay.
that point for Eli, it's just like, well, you can make pennies here compared to what he was making, or he can go to KTM where massive budgets had opened up. Obviously, they're in financial whatever crisis, but no, I mean, well, they're still able to pay a high-end rider, and that spot was open there. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's money makes the monkey dance, boys. Trust me. You'd be if you were in that same position, you'd really think about it as well. So,
Hold on. Next up.
A question for everyone, basically. Throughout your careers, is there a specific bike that you still think about that you think that was the best bike I ever had, or this team that I worked with, BT's, you've ridden Honda, Kiwi, Yamaha. Phil's been on every single brand. You got Honda and Kiwi, but is there a specific mechanic you worked with, a specific bike you worked with that you go, we nailed it that year?
So you could probably explain. I was never like I'm analytical in ways in my mind, but in terms of I like to keep things as simple as possible because I overthink enough as it is. So I didn't know what tires I ran or what the number of my bars was or any of that stuff. But the year I ran the BFR. Can you explain to these people like what the BFR was? The shock?
I can't because I didn't want to touch it. No, I don't know.
I
Phil probably
ran
can.
it.
Can you?
I ran it and it failed on me at
Did it?
Glen Helen, Hangtown, and Colorado. 6 for 6 motos.
Basically it was like this technology from Showa, from road racing, something with the shock. But the problem with it was the first year I got up to the 450 class, and I ran it. And it was so unbelievably good for like half the race. The only problem was the fact that it heated up.
That's exactly what
Got
happened.
very inconsistent. Then I would go for a ride. It wouldn't be great. But that motorcycle for 10 laps, I felt like James Stewart. Like I felt like I could do anything in the world. That's a pretty good feeling. Huh? Who could?
I don't know. 2012 Yamaha. What?
That's valid point.
Yeah.
That was not the real
That thing
James
was a
Stewart.
pile.
It was for little instances, but not the whole season. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, it was 2018. The Factory Husky was my best bike. I thought it was really, really good. Chassis, suspension. Because previous to that, I was on JGR for 5 years, and I thought a fire-breathing Dragon engine was what I needed to be able to be competitive in 450 motocross. And the Husky team kind of brought in a whole new light of smoother, power to the ground type mentality. So that was probably my best bike.
I'd have to say the bike that I raced you in 07, JB, was Pro Circuit Kawasaki. I've said this before, I went to the line knowing that I felt like I was on a cheater bike almost. It was that good.
You were, mate. You were.
What was it? Yeah, I mean, just the sound of it.
I know, yeah.
It just was a phenomenal bike. I guess there was a timing, Bones and Mitch. There was Drino there at the time. I had a great mechanic, Craig Beale. That bike was probably 4th generation, I think, or maybe 3rd generation Kiwi at the time. It was just incredible to go to the start line and know that there was just, you were on a bike that probably everyone feared, in terms of...
for sure. And everyone wanted to be on, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
You know what the craziest thing in the world is in 2007, and even before that, Pro Circuit was doing Geico Honda's motors.
Yes. They still were.
That's crazy.
And
so
Troy
you
Lee's.
literally knew
And
you
Troy
had
Honda.
5 horsepower on them because you had it on a sheet of paper at the shop in Corona.
They were doing it all the way through to 2010.
Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah.
Like what?
That is crazy to
I
think
bet
about.
a lot of people, a lot of viewers would not know that Pro Circuit was responsible for their direct competitors on the start line for their engine and the horsepower that they were running.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mitch had him right where he wanted him. Smart man.
100%.
Smart man. For me, I mean, there's 3 parts to this. I have a favorite front end of the bike, like
God.
Fork. I have a favorite rear end, and then I have a favorite bike. 2012 Factory Honda. Man, I wish I could ride that bike another year after that. That bike was good.
Oh, Phoenix, dude, you were so
That was
close.
2014.
Oh, dang.
Those are the forks. Those are the forks, though. Those forks.
Oh, yeah?
Phil, did you ride those forks?
Yeah, the show ones, yeah.
No, KYB. The Air.
2014?
We switched to KYB that year.
Oh, that's right. We did switch to
Oh, how nice is the air on the little chatter coming into the turns?
Dude, those things turned so good. But then 2018, the rear of that bike, the shock in 2018 on my Honda was unbelievable. So, great question. Another question?
Hey, guys. Does Hunter Lawrence win multiple Supercross races this year? So not just challenging, but wins multiple. Yes. Unequivocally, yes.
I'm all in on Hunter Lawrence, dude.
Yeah.
I really am.
Where that really changed is Las Vegas. There was 100%, there was a change in his mindset to his racing, and he knows that he is capable of being a winner in 450 Supercross next year. There's no doubt about it.
I think the fact that Hunter Lawrence loves his brother says more about like his mental fortitude and just, I don't know, his own self-awareness than anything ever could. Like, yeah, dude, that's a crazy position to be in, and he just keeps getting better. It's like he's never frustrated. He's always even keel, always getting better. We haven't even come close to the Hunter Lawrence ceiling yet, Ben.
How about his performance at Ironman Motocross the Nation?
Yeah,
it's
unbelievable.
Phenomenal
Unreal.
performance. I don't think that's been talked about enough in terms of, obviously really cool for Australia to go back to back, but in terms of the performance that he put on that day was a phenomenal performance. And I just think that was really undershadowed by the fact that the Australia won again, but he was like obviously super competitive to go 1-1-1, you know, in his performance.
I want to back up old boy's question. So how many fucking Supercross winners are we going to have next year?
I know Anderson's winning 3. You said.
I think
so. There's 3.
I mean, how many? 5?
That's typically
6?
What we have, but lately we've been getting around 6 or 7. But typically it's like 5, maybe 6.
Of what?
Winners.
How many winners do we have next year?
Well, let's kind of.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Jett, obviously. Hunter wins.
Kenny
Coop
always
wins.
Coop
wins.
Chase. Does Kenny get one?
Kenny always gets one.
Kenny
always
gets one.
Eli's got to get one.
Eli gets one. That's 6. Anderson, you
Anderson's
said
getting
there's
2
7.
or 3.
AP's just out and Malcolm's out and.
Holy shit! I'm glad I'm not racing AMA 450 Supercross. Good time to
be a
retire.
fan.
Nicoletti's getting one. Yep.
Shoot. I got to be able to survive Sydney here, okay, before we get there.
I mean, I feel like we're missing somebody. That's 7. If it's muddy, AP could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hunter's getting multiple for sure. Next question.
Yeah, I have a question.
Hey, what about Deegan?
Deegs?
I'm crazy, right? That's crazy. I think he's gonna race a few.
I think J Coop gets one. There's 8.
I wish he would.
Can we just? I need both of you guys in Tallahassee.
We've already been there, mate.
Both of you? Both of you guys have?
He spent some time
if
in
Justin
Tallahassee.
Cooper can get through a set of whoops, like average, just average, like as good as Cooper Webb.
He can, though.
He
That's
wins.
the thing.
He
Phil's
does
probably
win
seen
one,
this.
yeah.
On a practice day in Tallahassee, he's as good as anyone through whoops.
And
I've seen it.
And they always go fast to slow, and J Coop is always going first. J Coop smashes Coop in daily in Tallahassee. Yes, I know, but on Saturday nights it's a different ball game. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, on a weekday, J Coop he's unbelievable on a Saturday night. But even during the weeks, he's like godly. It's crazy. So hopefully that's your job, Whoop Master.
No.
Get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we settle on? 7? 7 winners?
7.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
What about Malcolm? Malcolm's one and done. Malcolm's a one and done winner.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. I mean he could, right? It's crazy to think he could. Or Jett could just win like 12.
Jett could literally win 12. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, we got some more back there.
Yeah, I'll go. Going back to Jett, I think that his path to success is pretty like hard to replicate. Went to Europe, stayed with Kenny's dad, and then had Stefan Everts as a team manager. And I mean Hunter as well, like a big brother to learn everything off. Do you think that, I guess BT or everyone to answer this, but do you think that that's a path that's even replicatable at all? Is he just the GOAT? Like, is he just it? Like, is that hard to replicate?
I just think the whole scenario you just touched on is hard to fathom, to be honest. You know, they left here at such an early age. You know, Hunter was on his way to success at that point in time already. I got to witness that myself. I was in Toowoomba racing, I think that was 2015, I think it was. He was already, on that tangent to being successful. I didn't even know he had a younger brother at the time, right? So then they moved their entire family across the globe, and they just absolutely, put themselves immersed in the sport. And I think really someone we haven't mentioned at all tonight is their father, and the way that he was just an absolute student of the sport. You know, he from the outset, from that move to Europe, he studied everything and everyone, and the motorcycles, the technique, everything that he could possibly study and learn from. He did that, and he's still doing that to this day. And I think that's an enormous part of their success. And I don't think that he gets a lot of credit, but that's an enormous part of where they have come from and where they've got to. That's my belief.
You ever look at like these like Fortune 500 CEOs or something like some of those wealthiest people in the world, or guys just accomplishing crazy things. You go on the internet and you kind of look at their story, and you're just like, wow, all these little things had to happen perfectly for this to happen. That's kind of what Jett's whole thing like reminds me of. Like what you just said, his entire path, the way that, because if Dazzy isn't as smart as he is, or isn't the way he is, Jett wouldn't be. The way it's every little thing. There's nothing left to chance. There's no hope. We're not hoping for anything. It's like just this is the way it is, and this is what we're doing, and that's it.
And Hunter, right? Hunter's a huge part of Jett's success because you see,
everything,
doing.
Dude.
Like he's made some mistakes.
Everything.
And, okay, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, but as you said, is it going to be replicated? You're kind of replicating it now to a sense. With Levi and Jagger yourself, leaving New Zealand, going over there, living in France, running the EMX 125 class, doing the whole Euro thing. I mean, you're kind of doing the same thing, and the end goal is to be in America. But you already know the whole schedule. You know, you already know the grind and stuff. So for you, it's a little bit different. You already kind of set the path for yourself because you've been through it. But for your kids, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, well, I guess I've gone that path just truly because that's how the Lawrences have done it, if I'm honest. You know, I've seen, the dues that they've paid in Europe and what they've been able to accomplish by learning skill sets over there. I think there's an enormous part of just going through the entire process of living in Europe and everything that you have to deal with outside of riding a motorcycle. Like, no offense to Americans, but anytime that an American has raced in Europe, they've found it very, very tough. The most common denominator in the whole experience for them is riding the motorcycle. Everything else outside of riding a motorcycle, I mean, you've been to Europe, JB, and raced in Paris. I'm sure you have as well, Phil. I think you went to Geneva, right, Adam? But it's just a whole different ballgame in terms of what you have to experience living in Europe. So I think there's an enormous piece of the puzzle that's learned in terms of just growing up, like the way they did, and then the skill sets that they learned. If you talk to Dazzy about amount of sand riding that they did and racing they did in that area of Holland and Belgium, well, they spent so much time just riding sand, and he truly believes that the skill sets that they learned there pay dividends even in Supercross. And he'll tell you that. Like, if he was sitting here now and you were asking him about what they did through, those, I don't know the actual years, must have been 18, 19, somewhere in those years, the amount of sand riding they did, he feels like that's an enormous piece of the puzzle for them and what they developed with Jett. And Jett rode some pieces of crap motorcycles, man, like a KX85 and a Suzuki 85, so he really learnt his craft, on a motorcycle. He had to extend his talent through the motorcycle to be the best version that he could, and maybe that's, I don't know who asked that question, but maybe that's a piece of the puzzle that, he really got a lot out of, and we didn't even see that part of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of guys. There's 7 or 8 guys in the 450 class that when conditions suit them, when they feel comfortable on the track or they're comfortable on the bike or they slept well the night before, and all these things line up, they can go out there and be the best guy in the world. But when shit hits the fan and you're uncomfortable and the bike's not there yet and all that, it's like nothing surprises them. And I think a lot of the stuff they learned in Europe basically just comes down to learning to adapt to your environment. Yeah.
We got time for one more question.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Townley, I want to ask a question for all the moto dads with kids on 50s and 65s. What's your advice? And what should we do?
I want to share one little thing. I was actually next to Townley in Melbourne last year, right? And this is something I tell so many people. I remember your young bloke crashed on the triple, right? And he come in the next lap, and you pulled him in, took his goggles off, pat him on the head, give him a cuddle to make sure he's okay. Not worried about the race, worried about his safety. And I said to so many people, I'm like, what you done, you didn't worry about the race or anything. It's your kid, you know what I mean? And you worried about him first. And the commentator said it on the mic as well about dads take a leaf out of your book about you're worried about the safety. I thought that was a massive part. I've got kids as well, and I was like, that's really, really cool. So, and obviously, you know, we've all got kids. Our kids racing that. So, a little thing. Everyone, you know, people flog their kids. You watch their parents, it is hammering the kids. And you're doing it the hard way, obviously, but still with the care factor side as well.
I think first and foremost, you're a parent. I mean, JB, you can speak to this as well. You know, JB's son is probably the similar age to what you guys are talking about on 50s. And I think first and foremost, you're a parent. I guess for the most people in here, you're here because you've probably ridden a motorcycle or dirt bike yourself. And as we all know, it's like a drug, right? You know, the thrill that you get from riding a motorcycle is incredible. And the thrill that you get from riding a motorcycle is incredible. And I love seeing my boys. I've got a daughter as well, but she doesn't ride dirt bikes. But I love seeing my boys get that same thrill. They enjoy it in the same way that I did as a kid, and I still do now. I rode last Sunday. I went trail riding and still got that same thrill. So that's first and foremost, you know, seeing. And I mean, there was no bigger stage than Melbourne last year. That was just incredible, eh? Like. No, sorry, I'm just talking about having Hunter and Jett there. JB and AC and Phil can speak to this. The way that you guys reacted to them coming out, you know, after winning the Motocross of Nations, that still puts, you know, the hairs on my back of my neck up, you know, it was incredible. So then for my son to go out there and have that massive crash like he did, I was just like, yeah, it was enormous, right? So all I was concerned about was his safety, you know, that's my little boy out there, you know. So that's first and foremost. To answer your question about going through the process, I guess it's a little bit different in my shoes, and I have to really control my emotions with this because they want to do the same thing that I did, right? You know, you guys might be, you know, builders or plumbers or whatever, you know, and your children are aspiring to do something similar to what you've done. And unfortunately, I've had the experience, you know, and I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make it drink, you know. So you've got to be really controlled with that environment, and they've got to go through the process exactly like I did. As much as I can give them all the wisdom in the world, you know, and knowledge and pass that on, they still have to go out and do it. And just recently, you know, when we're in rounds 1 and 2 in Brisbane, you know, Jager didn't have a great weekend at all. He was really disappointed. He didn't ride anywhere near his potential. But that's just part of the process, right? And you've got to, everyone has to go through that. They're all on their own journeys. You know, Phil brought up the fact that we're doing something similar to what the Lawrences are doing. That certainly is my intention, is to give them a similar pathway. There's no doubt about it. But mate, to achieve something along anywhere in the spectrum of what they have is just would be a milestone and a championship on its own, you know. So I think I guess the one thing that I'll finish on that is I'm just grateful to do it with them in this sport. You know, we're all here. It doesn't matter at the level that we ride. We're all on different levels. It's just what the sport gives us. Yeah, and we love doing it, and I genuinely, you know, I'm going to be out there tomorrow with Jager again, and I'm just so excited to be here. I love the fact that they've included. I grew up myself racing in the sort of Chad Reed era when Supercross included 80s, or back then 80s, which is 85s now, and to have, you know, the fact that Adam and the team here have included them again is awesome for these kids. It's so good for the sport in terms of development. It's phenomenal. You know, I started on, you know, when we started the show tonight talking about my experience with Cole Davies and what it did for him. And there's no doubt in my mind, there's zero doubt at all, that was an enormous part of his rise to what he achieved in America. I remember talking to Adam about this, and I was sort of, you know, on the front of, you know, preparing Cole to race in America, but I knew he needed something like what they have now in SX3 here in Australian Supercross to then prepare him to race in America, you know. And I'm actually shocked, to be honest, that there's not more American amateur riders coming over here to do it, because I think there's a lot to be gained. Ryder Malinowski's here at the moment. I think he's going to gain an enormous amount of experience out of it. So hopefully, I went off on a tangent, but hopefully that answers your question.
In America, do train a lot of supercross. Like I see a lot of people over there, and the 65 do train a lot of supercross. So how come they don't have it over in America? America wants to use motocross sports.
Yeah, I think they're working on getting that right. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
And I think it's more safer entry level coming in. Having them on the 85 and doing the major tracks, learning that at a younger age.
Yeah. No, there's a lot to it for sure. Yeah. I mean, there's no one way, right? There's not just one playbook that works for everybody, and we're seeing one now that works extremely well for the Lawrence brothers, and BT's following that path, and Cole Davies was a different path than that, and Ben Townley was a different path. Like, there's so many different ways to do it. There's not one way, but I think Ben summed it up the most. Like, follow your passion. We're all passionate about this. If your kid's passionate about it, awesome. Like, that's my number one thing, I guess. And my son loves it, and he's passionate about it. And yeah, exactly. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's awesome.
I think I was more like, what are your favourites on? Technique, this, that, you know what I mean? Like, what did you take from Greg Moss?
I don't really know Greg, but clearly he's had a huge influence on a lot of riders here in Australia. There's no doubt about it, and there must be some fundamentals that he teaches. And to me, if you wanna answer, what do you focus on? It's fundamentals. I tell every parent that is focus on fundamentals. Don't worry about how much money you spend on the engine. Focus on coaching, tyres, and suspension, and coaching first.
And I would say this. I would say this from my experience. I don't have a kid. If you want it worse than your kid, quit.
Yeah.
Go home. It's over.
That's the way to wrap. Thank you guys so much for coming out. That was a ton of fun. Phil, BT, thanks for joining us. That was awesome.
This
AC,
was epic.
We're in Australia, dude. We're in Australia.
We're doing it, dude. Live show.
Thanks, y'all.
It's all happening. Phil, Ben, thank you guys so much. You guys were great. Let's go have some fun this weekend, fellas. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.